밤 이렇게 시간이 안 가는지 정말 버스 안에서 going 이불 속에서 going은 언제나 너에게 going.
We are going to start with definition of Incoterms. Incoterms is a standard set of rules made by the International Chamber of Commerce (ICC) that tell buyers and sellers what their responsibilities are in international trade. International commercial terms is what the words Incoterms stands for. It tells buyers and sellers what their responsibility, cost, risk when it's come to moving and delivering goods. Next, we move to basic of Incoterms. We have 4 basic of Incoterms. The first one is owned by International Chamber of Commerce. The second one is standard trade definition available in 31 language. And the third one is used by custom and banks. For lastly, found in sale contract and letter of credit. Let's move to the current edition is Inco 2010. The 4 Incoterms category as E, F, C, and D words. It's the property of International Chamber of Commerce. For explaining to the terms, F is require the seller delivering the product to a carrier. For E, applying to circumstance when the buyer can obtain the goods at the seller's premise. For C, when shipping product, the exporter organizes shipment but is not liable for damage. And for the last one is D, apply when the seller bears both the expenses and the risk. Next, we move to importance of Incoterms. The importance is Incoterms can be as transparent as you can when negotiating a business that's called for overseas shipment. This agreement puts all parties on the same page and guarantee the timely and secure delivery of its items. Let's proceed with another one is use of Incoterms. Incoterms is keep everyone on the same page by describing the nature of the transaction because different Incoterms will be used for various modes of transportation. Next, we move to the 11 Incoterms. The first one is FOB, free on board. There are 2 categories of FOB, which is the first one is FOB destination. The seller oversees the goods throughout transit and is responsible for any loss or damage up until the point of delivery. The second one is FOB origin. If FOB was not defined in the contract, the Uniform Commercial Code UCC classified the term as FOB origin. The second one is FCA, free carrier. The seller required to arrange the delivery of the purchased goods to the buyer's specific address in accordance. The word free in a business context means that the seller must deliver the goods to a particular area before handing them off to a carrier. The third one is FAS, free alongside ship. The seller should arrange for the delivery of the goods to the port adjacent to the vessel in accordance with the Incoterms FAP agreement. The seller is responsible for the product's risk of loss during shipping up until the time to pick up by the carrier. Number 4 of Incoterm is EXW, X words. The obligation and the responsibility are placed mostly on the buyers. The seller's responsibility to make the items available for pickup at the specific delivery location. Number 5 is CIF, cost, insurance, and freight. The seller covers costs up to the designated part, including product transport and insurance fee. The seller in CIF load the product onto the ship also arrange and pay for the transportation to the final destination. Number 6 is CPT, carriage paid to. The seller is required under CPT requirements to clear the goods and make transportation arrangement to designated point of destination. The customer takes on the risk of loss when the seller delivers the item to the carriers. Number 7 is CFR, cost and freight. The sellers arrange and pay for the transport to named port. The seller is responsible for paying the terminal fees and export clearance at the port of shipping. Number 8 is CIP, carriage and insurance paid. The seller takes on all risks until the goods are handed over to the first carrier at the location of shipment. The cost of transportation and all risk insurance coverage will be the responsibility of the seller until it gets to its final destination. Number 9 is DAT, delivered at terminal. The seller agrees to hand over the item to you once they have been unloaded from delivery truck. DAT is used no matter what form of transportation is used. Number 10 is DAP, delivered at place. The seller must bring the goods to the agreed place and stay until unloading because the seller is responsible for everything. DAP allows any transport method and the unloading location should be agreed by both parties. Lastly, DDP, delivered duty paid. The seller is responsible for covering all shipping and custom fees up until delivery, also responsible for covering all import tax, levies, and customs fee. Buyer may select a provider who is familiar with the nation import clearance procedures. So, we already arrived at the end of my presentation. Thank you for lending your ears and attention to listen my presentation. That's all from me. Thank you and Assalamualaikum. Bye-bye.